Fresh off of being selected number 2 in the NFL draft and signing a $46.6 million contract, Travis Hunter abruptly got married to his girlfriend, who's been in the news over the last couple of years, without signing a prenup.
An incredible last memory of taking the field with his sons, Shador and Shiloh, here at Folsom Field at home.
Travis Hunter really be gearing up to drop a bombshell and walk away from the Jaguars? The rumors swirling right now aren't your usual new contract or better opportunity talk. Word on the street is this has nothing to do with playbooks or game stats and everything to do with his wife, Leanna. Fans online are convinced that one of his own teammates might have gotten a little too cozy with her. And when I say too cozy, you already know the kind of mess we're talking about.
Everybody, particularly legal experts, completely befuddled and prompted this one divorce lawyer to offer free prenups to every single rookie who just got drafted into the NFL.
All of the new rookies that came out of the 2025 draft, 200 and something players, we will give them all a free prenuptial agreement. See, NFL players in particular are really susceptible because here's why. NFL players have the shortest careers of professional athletes. That's why their compensation is so front-loaded. And so to get married at a time when you are in your highest possible earning years, without a prenuptial agreement, drafted between you and the person that you like out of the other 8 billion other options more than anything, that's foolish. You know, I've been working very hard with Trusted Prenup, which is an organization, a company that I helped found, to try to democratize prenups, normalize prenups, show that it's not just for first-round draft picks. It's for anybody. It's for everybody. And it shouldn't be something that's only available to the...
Now, here's where it gets even messier. The timing. This isn't some carefully planned move announced in advance. People are saying this decision feels sudden, personal, and dripping in drama. The online chatter says the reason isn't just about football. It's embarrassing. And if it's true, it's the kind of scandal that could have the whole locker room side-eyeing each other. We're talking old video clips resurfacing, shady whispers in the background, and a marriage that's already had public cracks showing.
Okay.
Never post when y'all have problems.
Okay.
And be honest. Always be honest.
I feel. You got the ring on right now?
No, I don't.
If even half of this tea is real, then Travis leaving might actually be the comms part of the entire situation. Now let's be real, NFL trades happen all the time. Players switch teams, chase bigger checks, and position themselves for better deals. That's normal, but the way Travis Hunter's situation is playing out, this feels different. We're talking about a young player hyped as one of the Jags' future franchise stars, suddenly ready to pack up his locker and move on without the usual heads-up or public explanation. And when something like this drops without warning, everyone's first question is, what actually went down? If this was strictly about football, you'd expect the usual safe PR line. It's just business. I'm ready for a new opportunity. I'm focused on my career. But Travis has gone dead silent. And that silence, that's what's got people's radar up. Especially when you remember how loud and proud he was the day the Jags drafted him. Posting, talking big, smiling ear to ear. Now not a word. And in the NFL, sometimes silence says more than any press conference ever could. And that's exactly why the internet has gone full detective mode, digging through Reddit threads, Twitter timelines, TikTok For You pages, piecing together every crumb like it's the case of the year. And no matter where you scroll, the same explosive theory keeps popping up. This isn't about touchdowns or stat sheets. It's about Travis Hunter's personal life. More specifically, a jaw-dropping rumor that one of his own teammates may have crossed a very dangerous line with his wife, Leanna. If that's true, it's not just a bad look. It could be a careering betrayal.
Now, that's James Sexton. He's a divorce lawyer who you may have seen on Andrew Huberman's podcast at Lex Friedman. He was on Flagrant 2 with Andrew Schultz, and he is trying to bring prenups to the entire world and said that after his offer, he had a few rookies actually reach out and take him up on the free prenup. It's a smart move by the NFL players and a brilliant marketing move by him. Because at the end of the day, everybody should have a prenup. It should be completely standard with all the other paperwork you sign. There should just be another one that decides everything financially. Because why would you take your most irrational and illogical feelings, your most emotional moments of love and romance, which are the most non-tangible, unexplainable, uncontrollable thing you feel, and then link it to all of your money and all of your finances and all of your tangible hard work. And even more important than that, why the fuck would you let the government or some random judge or a bunch of lawyers decide this shit for you? It all can affect your taxes and your real estate, and there's implications for retirement and earnings and family, and you're like, we'll just figure it out later. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm sure it's not even gonna happen, and if it does, it'll probably go smoothly, right? What could go wrong? You never want to root against the guy, but Travis Hunter is getting married at the age of like 15 with $50 million. There's a lot of time between now and death. That shit could go south. So it's probably too late for...
The gossip was nothing but vague coded hints. People were dropping cryptic comments like, check the roster, or look at who she's been around lately. But then things escalated. Fans on Reddit and TikTok started dropping actual names. And that's when this rumor went from whispers to a full-blown public investigation. The story being told is that one of Travis's own Jaguars teammates got way too friendly with Liana. The way it's being described, you don't even need a full sentence to get the picture. The look on people's faces alone says something's off, and yet no one's confirming anything. The Jaguars' front office silent. Travis, silent. And Liana, not a single word on social media. No posts, no likes, no comments. She's completely gone quiet. The only thing fans have to go on is an old interview where she said she keeps her marriage strong by not letting social media dictate it. But you know how the internet moves. Silence doesn't calm the storm. It just makes people assume the worst. And what really lit this fire was how perfectly the rumor lines up with things people claim they've already seen before. That resurfaced clip from months ago, the one allegedly showing Liana chatting and leaning in close with a certain Jaguars player. Yeah, that video is everywhere again, and people are dissecting it frame by frame like it's evidence in a courtroom. Here's the real sting for fans. If the player in that old clip is the same one being named in the current rumors, then this tension has been simmering for months, which could mean all the awkward vibes and strange energy behind the scenes weren't random at all. They might have been the early warning signs of a situation that was already getting ready to explode. There were little red flags here and there, whispers about the vibe at practice being off, and fans swearing they could feel the tension through the screen. People started noticing that some players who used to laugh, joke, and hang out with Travis weren't really around him like that anymore. It was like the easy camaraderie was gone overnight. Even during press conferences, the whole energy felt different. Awkward, careful, like everyone was tiptoeing around an elephant in the room. Nobody's come out and flat out admitted there's drama, but the body language says plenty. The team's still playing it cool like everything's perfectly fine. But if you really watch closely, it's hard not to notice Travis looking more distant. He's not laughing with the guys the way he used to. When he's on the sidelines, he's often standing alone, scanning the field like his head somewhere else entirely. And if this rumor about a teammate in Liana is even partly true, that would explain a lot. Imagine having to practice, travel, and share a locker room with someone you don't even want to make eye contact with. That's not just uncomfortable. That's straight up exhausting. Once fans started connecting those dots, the whole situation started feeling less like football and more like one of those messy behind-scenes soap operas you can't look away from. And let's be real, if the locker room's tense, home life isn't exactly going to be a calm retreat.
It was Austin. Do you remember when
I love you. Oh, I ain't mean to say that.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's literally what happened. We would like, he would drive. Wait, no, I would drive. He didn't have a car. I would drive and I would like drop him off somewhere and I'd be, all right, I love you, bye. And remember? And I used to be like, oh, I didn't.
Just that same distracted, locked-in look like his mind was somewhere 1,000 miles away. That's when the whispers changed tone. Some people started wondering if Travis wasn't just avoiding a certain teammate. Maybe he was avoiding entire situations where he'd have to answer questions or deal with side eyes. The timing made it all feel even stickier. Around the same weeks, Travis started disappearing from public view. Online chatter about him and Liana was peeing. And instead of jumping online to address it, clear the air, or post something casual to shut it down, he did nothing. He went silent. And in today's world, silence is like oxygen for speculation. The theories kept multiplying. Some fans swore that's when you could tell he'd already made his decision. Not just about where things stood with Liana, but about where he stood with the team. The distance wasn't random anymore. It looked intentional. And then came the next rumor, the one that made it feel like we were watching the end of something in slow motion. According to people claiming to be close to the situation, Travis and the teammate at the center of all this weren't just keeping their distance in public. They were avoiding each other completely on and off the field. No eye contact, no small talk, no casual good game. It was like they'd both drawn invisible lines and dared the other to cross them. And that kind of tension doesn't just fade away quietly. By this point, fans weren't just talking, they were tracking. Every practice clip, every sideline camera pan, every tiny reaction shot was being clipped, slowed down, and posted online like it was part of some ongoing investigation. And the more people looked, the more they claimed to see. Travis wasn't just keeping his distance from that teammate. He was avoiding any space that might put them in the same frame. No warm-up drills together, no huddles side by side. Even during team stretches, it looked like he'd subtly shift to the opposite end. The energy on the field started reflecting it too. Plays where they should have linked up, they didn't. Little miscommunications that never used to happen suddenly became normal. Commentators didn't call it out directly. They're not about to stir that kind of pot, but the pauses in their voices said plenty. You could hear the hesitation when they tried to explain why a certain play looked so off. Meanwhile, off the field, the public silence was getting louder. Normally, someone in Travis's position might release a statement, post a vague, ignore the noise quote, or at least share a smiling couple pic to squash the talk, but nope, nothing. Leanna's social stayed completely still. Travis kept everything strictly football in his rare posts, and that gap in public appearances together kept stretching wider and wider. And then came the footage that really made people's eyes widen. During a post-game walk-off, cameras caught the team heading back toward the tunnel. Most players were chatting or giving fans high fives, but Travis, straight face, eyes forward, and the moment the teammate in question came into view, Travis veered off to the opposite side without missing a step.
First time I got to get a shot. Now you're so good. Shooting through the glass. Lean over the left.
Spreads like wildfire, not because anything was said, but because nothing needed to be. People started dubbing it the tunnel moment online, using it as proof that whatever was happening behind the scenes was way past repair. And that's when the tone of the conversation shifted. Fans stopped debating if there was tension. Now they were debating how long Travis would even stick around. The whispers about a possible exit weren't just rumors anymore. They were starting to sound like predictions. And the way everything was lining up, those predictions didn't seem too far-fetched. They eventually had it out, not in front of the cameras, but close enough that people nearby knew something went down. It supposedly happened after practice, away from the official team coverage, but you didn't need a press release to figure out the topic. With all the rumors flying, it doesn't take a genius to connect the dots. For a lot of fans, this was the yep, it's over moment. Because let's be real, you don't share a field, a locker room, or even the same air without breaking the tension, unless something has been said or something has snapped. By the time this story made its way into fan spaces, it wasn't being treated like gossip anymore. It felt like a quiet, unspoken confirmation that whatever bond used to be there had officially cracked. And while Travis kept his side locked up tight, Leanna's silence started feeling even heavier. She wasn't just quiet, she was gone. No posts, no cameos at games, no little behind-the-scenes glimpses in the team's media. For someone who'd always had at least some public presence, her sudden disappearance was impossible to ignore. Fans caught on quick. A short break from social media is one thing, but this felt like something bigger, like she was avoiding the spotlight entirely. Officially, they both stayed silent. No statements, no hints, and yet the whispers keep spreading, especially with the timing of everything lining up the way it has. It's gotten to the point where the question isn't if Travis will leave, but how he's going to do it. Quietly in the off-season or in a way that makes headlines for weeks. Right now, Travis isn't talking. Leanna's keeping her head down. The Jaguars are keeping their lips sealed, which means the only way we'll ever get the truth is if someone decides to spill. And if that day comes, the transfer itself won't be the headline. The real shock will be the reason behind it, and that might be the part the NFL isn't ready for. So, what do you think really went down between Travis, Leanna, and that mystery teammate? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your theories. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to stay locked in with all the latest drama, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. I'll catch you in the next one. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.